Hello, my name is Chen Qianhui, and now I'm going to talk about the Turkey earthquake. And the first question is, why Turkey earthquake caused serious damage? And my answer is, first, the Turkey earthquake was very strong. It was recorded as a magnitude 7.8, and the quake ruptured about 100 kilometers along the fault line. But it was a just magnitude of the earthquake that caused the damage. The strangeness of the building is also a factor. Unfortunately, the defense infrastructure is not well developed in South Turkey, especially Syria. An area that hasn't had a major earthquake or any warning signs for over 200 years. So the level of the preparedness in lower that in the region more area in dealing with earthquake area. And the second question is, where did it hit? And my answer is, the quake epicenter was 34 kilometers deep in Turkey's Gaziantep province and is near the Syria's border. And the third question is, why did so many buildings collapse? And my answer is, the U.S. Geological Service point out that most of the buildings in the areas are constructed of breaking materials or brittle concrete, which is highly susceptible to earthquake vibration and is one of the main reasons for the severe damage. And the last question is, how common are earthquakes of this size and intensity in Turkey? And my answer is, it's very rare, probably once in 100 years. And next, I'm going to talk about the Turkey's politics. And the first question is, how is the Turkey's president response to the earthquake? And my answer is, since the earthquake, there has been a lot of angry public opinion in Turkey. Criticism Erdogan's government for being slow in disaster relief, and the obvious opposition has also bombarded the government for not being prepared to deal with major natural disaster at all. And as the death toll continued to mount, so did public anger. And when Turkey's President Erdogan visits Adıyaman province, the disaster-stricken area, he published a statement that there was problem in the rescue operation of the earthquake. He says, I apologize for not being able to work the way we want in first few days. And now I'm going to talk about the Turkish politics. And now I'm going to talking about the Turkish politics. First of all, President Erdogan said that due to factors such as the earthquake, bad weather, and damage in infrastructure, it was not possible to work in the way he wanted in the first few days. He said, "For this, I beg forgiveness." Erdogan asked vote to build more than 500,000 new homes, as well as infrastructure, healthy center, and park. And after that, Kagaput emphasized that if the Turkish government does not launch an effective relief plan after the disaster, it may be difficult for its supporters to accept the authoritarian part of Erdogan's political entity. And next, we're talking about how to search and rescue teams save people and what will happen after the 72 And next, we are talking about how to search and rescue teams save people and what will happen after the 72 hours golden period. And my answer is the team member used life detector to confirm that there were still survivors in the rubble. But after dispatching the rock crusher to destroy the collapsed stone slab, only the right foot of the trapped person could be seen. In order to save people, the search and rescue team decided to send him, who was relatively thin, to climb into on the spot, put the opponent out. Visiting trapped under the rubble may have less and less chance of survival, and the World Health Organization has warned that Turkey and Syria may face a secondary health crisis, possibly worse than the earthquake itself. And next, I'm going to talk about how to search and rescue team save people and what will happen after 72 hours golden period. And my answer is the team member use life detectors to confirm that there was still survivor in the rubble. But after dispatching the rock crusher to destroy the collapsed stone slab, only the right foot of the trapped person could be seen. In order to save people, the search and rescue team decided to send him, who was relatively thin to climb into on the spot, put the opponent out. Victim trapped under the rubble may have less and less chance of survival. And the WHO has warned that Turkey and Syria may face secondary health crises, possibly worse than the earthquake itself. And next, I'm going to talk about why does Syria receive far international attention and act like than Turkey. And my answer is, although it is also a disaster area, Syria has received far less international attention and assistance than Turkey. In fact, as early as when the earthquake first occurred, many regional experts worried that the Syrian people would become victims of political wrestling. And this is indeed the case from the current disaster relief situation. And why it's difficult to get help after Syria's earthquake. And I think the main reason is that the local political situation is complicated and governed by different forces. And there are also international sanctions against Syria. And next, I will going to talk about the what cause earthquakes and where do they occur happens in South Turkey on the Syrian border. And next, I'm going to talk about what causes earthquakes and where do they occur. And my answer is that happens in South Turkey on the Syrian border. And next question, why does the earthquake during earthquake? And the reason for the earthquake is that the crust collides with each other to accumulate stress during the movement of the plate. And when the crust cannot continue to accumulate straight, the crust was ruptured and release seismic waves, cause the ground to vibrate. And how the earthquake recorded? My answer is use a seismograph, which is an instrument that can detect earthquakes. Map seismic waveforms and output seismograms when an earthquake occurs. In addition to physically perceiving the vibration, human beings must use a seismograph to record the seismic wave if they want to use science to understand the specific vibration mode, vibrational direction, and vibrations period of the seismic wave. And how do scientists measure the size of earthquake? It is calculated from the common logarithm for the maximum amplitude of seismic waves recorded by seismographs at the observation point. How do scientists determine where an earthquake occurs? And my answer is with the development of seismology, the azimuth method, and station Newark measurements methods were born after seismograph and other instrument technologies gradually matures. After the epicentral position is determined, the focal depth can be measured to determine the focal position. And next question, can scientists predict earthquakes? And my answer is, it is still impossible to accurately predict the occurrence times of earthquakes, but there are usually some natural phenomena before earthquake, especially various anomalies before larger earthquake. And next question, is there such a thing as earthquake weather? And my answer is, the correlation between earthquake and weather or season has not yet been proven by clear scientific evidence. And next question is, can some animals or people tell when an earthquake is about to occur? And my answer is, not all experts agree that animals' premonitions are a viable option for humans to predict natural disaster. Even if it's indeed helpful, it is not enough to rely on a single item of information about the abnormal behavior of animals. Humans need to comprehensively and analyze various precursor information to fully grasp the situation. And next, I'm going to talk about the spy balloons. The first question is, obviously there are stability. Why does China use spy balloons? And my answer is, Beijing's use of spy balloon is intended to send a message that China is ready to continue competing with the U.S. by any means necessary. And next question, what can the U.S. learn from Chinese balloons debris? And I think the U.S. will work to find as many sensors as possible in the balloon's wreckage that could be used to reveal the purpose of the balloon. And information from down balloons could help U.S. officials better understand their adversaries. And next question, has this incident affected Sino-U.S. relations? And how? And my answer is the fallout from the spy balloon itself continued to fuel tensions between the U.S. and China. And a final question is, in your opinion, should the U.S. military shoot down the balloons? I think the U.S. should shoot down the balloons because they can shoot down the balloons too. And about the last question, I think the U.S. should shoot it down because it can better study what China wants to do.
The earthquake in Turkey reminded Asher in another moment, only 5 years old. She was in Burma when massive earthquake struck in 1999, killing more than 17,000 people. The disaster has both political and he oversees the period of growth and transition with about the results of building structure, but it's still growing death tolls. Asher is visiting Valo, DC back.
Hi, Ari. Good to be
here. This was under the natural disaster was a factor that lead people to question whether people choice have rules. Look,
this
was a big earthquake by any stretch of imagination, but something that is very close. But of course, understand that Turkey is on seismic zone, 2 major fault lines, which means think that the earthquake in 1999, entire country has suffered an earthquake. Like Turkey, people know not many large earthquake experts like often Turkey. And what the massive earthquakes like this is prepared. People are quite angry, increasing so because of initial slow reaction to change in the reaction, and some areas still ready not
What
reach.
specifically do you think could have been done in the last 20 plus years?
What step could have to be? Everything has to go through self-government, but only in then allowed do searching internally. This decision-making issue that is to English local offshore. Local authorities don't really have much say. They need government official body to come and do and instrument those just a
against
human experience in
terms of
turn
governance over centuries. We want things decentralized for efficiency.
for
So that
efficiency.
speaks to the relief effort.
Reverse.
What
Well,
about all the
the
construction that happened under Erdogan's rule? Were
were
there
the
lessons
lessons
that should
that
have
should
been learned
have
from
been
the
learned from
1999
the
disaster
1999
that weren't?
Certainly, Turkey has depended so much on construction as a crown jewel of the economy. When you are pushing for growth, a model depends on destruction. It chocolate only. As an alternative way of development for economy, you want to value-added growth, but it is using at a bigger level, the kind of nepotism, cronyism. It's hard to talk about these things in the so soon after tragedy, but we and Turkey system was in the state for all this time, and people question now where is it going to?
How much do you think political factors around the election are informing the response here?
I think so much is dictated by the awareness that elections are around the corner.
The government is very keen on controlling the source. They see emerging designs on the ground and trying to control social media. Therefore, Turkey is slowing down, and I think the government is understand very clearly that how the response to earthquakes is going to determine whether they stay in power or not.
Asla Taşbaş is a visiting fellow at the Brookings Institution.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ari.